When my family turned their backs on me, I thought my world had ended. I was wrong. That was the moment my real story began. The moment I became stronger than they ever believed I could be. My name is Elena Ward, and at 32, I've built a life I once thought was impossible. I'm a senior data analyst for a tech firm in Austin, Texas, surrounded by glass walls, coffee machines, and the hum of ambition. My salary is more than I ever dreamed of, and from my apartment, I can see the city lights I used to think belonged to other people. But success doesn't erase the past. It just buries it, until someone comes along to dig it up. When I was 9, my world cracked in half. My parents' marriage collapsed, and my mother, Valerie Quinn, left with a suitcase and her pride. My father, Thomas Ward, and I stayed behind in our small Ohio town, clinging to what was left. Dad ran a tiny roadside diner that smelled of coffee and fried eggs even when the lights were off. He worked until his hands cracked, flipping pancakes long past midnight. I used to watch him from the counter, my homework open beside a plate of cold fries. He'd sigh when he thought I wasn't looking. I started helping, babysitting, delivering papers, cleaning garages, just to bring home a few extra dollars. Dad would tell me, "You shouldn't have to worry about this stuff," but I couldn't stand watching him drown alone. Mom sent a birthday card every year. Same 2 sentences, happy birthday, hope you're doing well. No calls, no visits, just words thin enough to cut. By high school, I turned that ache into drive. I chased scholarships like air. My counselor once said, "You see patterns where others see chaos." That line stuck. At 17, I earned a full scholarship to a university in Texas. It was my ticket out. College was brutal. Tuition was covered, but everything else wasn't. I waited tables, cleaned offices, filed papers until midnight at a law firm. Instant noodles were dinner, but I didn't care. Every exhaustion felt like proof I was building something permanent. By 27, I was working at a growing tech company. Promotions came slowly, then all at once. The day I signed my first 6-figure contract, I cried. Not from pride. From relief. I'd made it. Dad still ran the diner, his laugh softer now, his hair white. I sent him money every month, paid off his mortgage, bought him a new truck, replaced his espresso machine. He'd grumble but always end with, "You did good, kid." Those words meant everything. Mom stayed a ghost. I heard whispers, remarried, had a son named Evan, new city, new life. But she never reached out. Until last fall. It was a cool October night when I heard the knock. I wasn't expecting anyone. I opened the door and froze. Valerie, my mother, standing there like 23 years hadn't passed. Beside her, a teenage boy, Evan. "Elena," she said softly, her voice too sweet. "You look wonderful." I couldn't move. She smiled as if time had rewritten itself. "Can we come in?" she asked, and stepped inside before I answered. We sat in my living room, the air thick with old ghosts. Valerie's eyes wandered across the space, the minimalist furniture, the skyline view. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "You've done well for yourself," she said. Evan muttered, "Nice place," without looking up from his phone. Then came the shift. "I've heard you're doing well financially," Valerie said. "Your company treats you good?" "I do okay," I said carefully. She sighed, a practiced pity-drawing sigh. "Evan just got into university. Tuition's overwhelming. $60,000 a year." She hesitated. "We were hoping you could help." "Just until we get back on our feet," Evan looked up. $3,000 a month should cover it," he said flatly, like ordering a sandwich. I blinked. $3,000 a month? He shrugged. "You can afford it." The words hit like a slap. Valerie smiled tightly. "Family helps family, sweetheart. You've been blessed. Family." That word burned. Where was family when Dad was choosing between rent and groceries? When I was scrubbing floors at 15? I forced a smile. "I'll think about it." Her face softened, too easily. "Of course. We'll talk soon." They left, but their scent, expensive perfume and something rotten underneath, lingered. The next morning, a text. Lunch tomorrow? There's more we need to discuss. I should have ignored it. But the little girl inside me, the one who used to stare at the door waiting for her to come home, still wanted answers. At the cafe, Valerie reached for my hand. I missed you so much, she said. I didn't take it. She began rewriting history. Claimed Dad turned me against her, that he kept her away. Her voice trembled at the right moments. Evan rolled his eyes. Mom, just ask her, he muttered. Then to me, I need a reliable car for school. Maybe a Mustang? Oh, and a new phone. This one's trash. I laughed, because the alternative was screaming. You're asking for a car and a phone? He leaned back. You make 6 figures. Don't act broke, Valerie scolded him, then turned to me. We're not asking for the world, Elena, just some generosity. You've been given so much. Given, I said quietly. No one gave me anything. I earned it. Her smile vanished. You're just like your father, she snapped. Ungrateful. Evan stood, knocking his chair back. Knew this was a waste of time. I rose too. This conversation is over. Valerie's voice turned sharp. You'll regret this, she hissed. I walked out. My hands were shaking, but later that day they came back. Another knock. Valerie's smile was thinner now. We just want to talk, she said. I didn't want a scene in the hallway, so I let them in. You've had time to think, she said. So what's your decision? My decision, I said calmly, is no. Her tone turned brittle. Why are you being so cruel? We're family. I turned toward the kitchen to grab my phone. When I came back, Evan was at my desk, my laptop open. What are you doing? He smirked. Just curious. The screen showed my bank login, email typed in, failed attempts listed below. I slammed it shut. Are you insane? Valerie stood quickly. We weren't doing anything wrong. We just wanted to see how you're doing. You were trying to steal from me, I said. Don't be dramatic, she snapped. Your father always kept things from me. I had to find out the truth myself. Then it clicked. You hacked his email, I said. Her face froze. Just for a second, she muttered. He had your job info. I just wanted to see how my daughter got so lucky. Lucky? I whispered. Dad broke his back for me. You left us with nothing, Evan scoffed. Still flipping eggs somewhere? That was it. Get out, I said, voice steady. Valerie's eyes darkened. You'd call the police on your own mother? If I have to. I held up my phone. She grabbed Evan's arm. This isn't over. When the door slammed, the silence felt heavy and alive. I checked my laptop. More failed login attempts. Same time they were here, I called Dad, told him everything. He was quiet for a long time. Then said softly, I changed my email password last week. Couldn't log in. Thought it was me. It wasn't. That night, I gathered every screenshot, every message, every timestamp. A friend put me in touch with a lawyer, Michael Reyes. After seeing the evidence, he said one thing. You should file for a restraining order. The process was long. Paperwork, hearings, statements, but eventually it was granted. Valerie and Evan were barred from contacting me or accessing my accounts. I thought that was the end. Until a week later, I got an alert from my bank. A blocked transfer attempt, $10,000. Someone had tried to use my credentials. Again, they failed, of course. I'd built my career on security, but it proved they'd rather destroy what I had than face what they'd become. Months passed. I threw myself into work, therapy, peace. Dad finally sold the diner and moved closer to me. For the first time, I saw him rest. We started having Sunday dinners, quiet, simple, warm. One day, Aunt Nora called. Your mother's burned every bridge, she said softly. Everyone's done with her lies. I'm sorry you had to carry that burden. Her words didn't hurt. They healed something instead. I began therapy with Dr. Hayes, who told me something I still carry. Forgiveness isn't reconciliation. It's releasing the hold they have on your peace. So I stopped asking why she left. Stopped wondering what if she'd stayed. Instead, I started a small scholarship fund in Dad's name for low-income students studying tech. Every acceptance letter felt like giving that 13-year-old version of me another chance. Now, when I look around my apartment, the city skyline glowing through the glass, I see proof that family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up when it's hard. Dad calls every Sunday to ask what I cooked. My friends, Sam, Riley, and Marcus, fill my home with laughter and no conditions. As for Valerie and Evan, I haven't heard from them in over a year. Sometimes, when autumn comes and the air smells like rain, I think about that first knock on my door, how close I came to letting the past in again. But I didn't, and that, more than anything, feels like victory, because I've learned the hardest truth of all. Family isn't who gives you life. It's who stands beside you while you live it. Pain doesn't end you, it shapes you. If you felt that, hit subscribe for more stories like this one.